Paranormal Mysteries, 10 Tales of the Paranormal is written and read by me, Albert Jack. We all love a good mystery, don't we? And by all, I mean each and every one of us are or will be captivated at one time or another by a decent, real-life, scary mystery. Either one of the world's most famous or something on a much smaller scale. But writing a book on just one of these would have been relatively easy. The challenge came from researching many of them and then condensing them down in a way that I know that you, my reader, will enjoy. And that is short, sharp, informative sections that can be read on the train, bus queue, or whilst you're waiting to pick the kids up from school. In other words, the challenge was to explain each mystery in a way you can enjoy and absorb in about 10 minutes flat. Therefore, inevitably, some of the information will be missing, for which I apologize in advance. But the missing detail isn't critical to the basic story. The core details of the mystery in question should all be in there. In some cases, such as the chapters on the Bermuda Triangle, UFOs or USOs, there are literally thousands of examples I could have used, of course, but in each case I've kept them down just to a handful. And this brings me to an important point. Given that I am a fan of the unknown and the unexplained, I have not set out to be a mystery buster in this series. Instead, I just wanted to tell the story, reveal some little-known detail, and offer a rational explanation wherever I could. I wanted to provoke a bit of thought and conversation, but leave you to decide the answers for yourselves. Does a story remain a mystery, in your view? Or have you managed to piece together a theory of your own that you can share with friends? So join me on a journey through the paranormal. Chapter 1. The famous Aurora spaceship mystery. Did a UFO really crash in a small town in Texas over a century ago? When it comes to spaceships and little green men from Mars, most people's thoughts turn to the notorious events at Roswell, New Mexico, where in 1947 the US government apparently captured an alien. He'd crashed his flying saucer. US military personnel are then said to have quickly sealed off the area, removed all evidence, and engaged in a complete cover-up. After a thorough debriefing, presumably in sign language, the little green man sadly died. Much later, the film of the top-secret autopsy supposedly carried out on him was sold on the black market, ending up nearly 50 years later, in 1995, on a prime-time TV documentary that was broadcast around the world. This program, Alien Autopsy, caused a sensation, and Martiangate was back on the agenda with a vengeance. As is often the case, those who wanted to believe such a story inevitably did, while those of us living really on planet Earth could smell a rat. In fact, there were rats everywhere. But even so, it still took 11 years before program maker Ray Santilli admitted that the autopsy had been staged, for the most part in a flat in Camden Town, London. Strangely enough, he owned up to this 2 days before a humorous parody of his subject was due to be aired on television. He confirmed that his props had included sheep brains set in jelly, knuckle joints and chicken entrails bought from Smithfield Meat Market just around the corner. That should have knocked the Roswell mystery on the head for good, and all those UFO enthusiasts who'd been obsessing about the whole affair for years must now be quietly licking their wounds in their garden sheds or wherever it is they go to study their favourite subject. But Roswell wasn't the first time. Aliens had been captured before. In 1897, Aurora, a small unremarkable town near Dallas, Texas, became the site of an astonishing event. On April 19 that year, 10-year-old Charlie Stevens was sweeping his yard when he looked up to see smoke trailing from a large silver airship flying overhead towards Aurora. Soon after it had flown out of sight, he heard an explosion and saw a thick plume of smoke rise into the air. He was about to rush off and see what happened when he was stopped by his father, who told him he had to finish his chores first. Just imagine that. Something truly momentous has just happened right in your sleepy town. A strange airborne vehicle, something you've never seen before, maybe even a craft from another planet, crashes just a few hundred yards away from your own back gate, and you're told, "Nope, you can finish sweeping that there yard first, boy, and then come back inside and help your ma with the breakfast." In fact, Charlie wasn't allowed to go at all. According to him, it was his father who had gone into town and seen the wreckage scattered around the place. Mary Evans, aged 15 at the time, also claimed to have witnessed the crash, but stated that her parents wouldn't allow her to visit the scene either. Reporter H.E. Hayden
Sample complete. Ready to continue?